Alright guys, got this Mercedes. This is a pretty nice car. Guy just bought it, but had some issues. Had some audio issues. So whoever he got it from, they quickly just kind of threw in a radio. It's a Sony radio in there. They didn't wire it into like the Bose system or anything, so that's what like the tuner and the amp and everything should be. And as you can see, there's nothing there. We kind of already started ripping it apart. This is what they did. They kind of just tapped in their own wires. So that Sony was powering all the speakers. So you know, the little guys up back there, guy in the front there, some stuff in the door. You can see we already have the doors dangling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swap everything out. I'm already in the middle of doing it. I'm going to put my own amps in here with my own crossover network and everything. I'm going to make this a three-way component system complete. So in the front doors, I'm going to put a 6.5-inch speaker with just a 1-inch tweeter, and then on the back here, I'm going to replace these guys with 2 3/4 speakers, and they're going to be mid-range speakers. I'm going to put in like an actual crossover network with it, where it's going to have everything complete. So let me kind of show you guys over here what we're working on. I've already took off one part of it. So this is the little speaker that was in the other side of the back. So flip this around so you guys can kind of imagine it. That's how this was sitting on the other side. So I just mounted my own new speaker in there, pretty clean, and everything will be tapped in. So this will look really good, and this is going to be like almost like a mid-range style speaker. So we'll have everything going with the new crossover network and everything. So this will turn out nice. So what's going to happen is pretty much the radio is going to go from a 2-channel amp. From the 2-channel amp, it's going to go to a 3-way crossover, and then the crossover is going to go out to all the speakers. So just doing a woofer, mid, and high. So again, this will sound pretty cool. We're also going to do a sub in the trunk too. All audio control equipment. I've been having great luck with them. Everything's been doing great, and they sound really, really nice. So all audio control stuff is what we're putting in this, and we'll see how it looks and sounds at the end. All right, just so you guys kind of have an idea, these are the components that we're going to be putting in the front doors. Now, I'm not going to use the crossovers because, like I said, I have a 3-way crossover I'm going to use instead. I'll show that as we go. But I wanted you to see when we pulled out the doors, this is kind of what we're looking at here. So you've got your 6.5 here. This is like a 2.5-inch or a 3-inch, something like that. Nothing too crazy, but still, that's the way the factory comes through. So once we do it, this is the other side. Here's our audio control 6.5. Fits in there nicely, and then we put in a nice bracket and mounted our tweeter in there. So that's kind of how it's going to end up looking. Let's see if I can kind of throw these guys in front of each other so that you guys have a good view of what it looks like from the factory to how we'll be setting it up. And again, the way we'll be setting it up, it is going to sound like a complete solid, almost like a surround system by the time we're done here. So it's going to be really, really nice. So we'll continue, see how we go. I'll get these doors buttoned up, and then I'll kind of show you where all the amps and the sub and all that stuff's going to end up. So awesome. All right, guys, got this Mercedes all done. Obviously, we also tinted all the windows, but audio-wise, you've got your Sony radio right there. That's the radio that he originally had. We just went through and made it work. Like I said, we got the speakers in there, speakers back in that one, and on the back deck, we did the speakers. The amp and the 3-way crossover is in here directly below this. We actually took out the CD changer, just put a kind of like a block on top of it. That way he can fit some more stuff in here. So I thought that was pretty nice. So that's where the 4-channel amp is and the 3-way crossover is. And then if we come back here, we've got the trunk, which doesn't have much room at all, but we fit a nice audio control in there. You can see tied down to right down there, so that way it does not move. And then in the corner here is where we actually installed our amplifier. So that's the amp for this. So again, all audio control stuff. It turned out really good. It sounds really good. And we are definitely happy with this one. Last thing, I'll show you, bass knob. We flush mounted them right there. So this is the bass knob. You can't even really tell it's there unless I show it to you. So same thing, just trying to keep things nice and clean. So, all right, guys, on to another one.